Hello, it's My Mom Calls It Soccer. I am Michelle.
I'm Chase, I call it football.
And today we are starting really season 2 of our podcast and introducing an exciting segment that we've been talking about and leading up to, and that is the matchup. So we have taken 7 Americans who were not football fans and helped them explore potential mates for football teams that we could match them up with. And we're going to talk about where they are and the first week, match week 1, correct, of European season and what that means for our participants. And before we get into that, we're going to do a little Soccer 101 because really the purpose of our podcast is to reach new potential fans, people like myself that don't know much about soccer/football, but might be interested. And that's why we've started the matchup. And so we want people who aren't familiar with all things about football/soccer to follow along with us all year and learn alongside of these participants so they can learn to become fans. And so the first thing, Chase, that I want you to talk to people about is how Matchweek is not a term we use for American sports. What does that mean?
Basically, it is a set of games that all the teams in the league play. And in the league, you play the same team 2 times from home and away.
Okay.
And basically, match week just means, just like the week where all of the teams play.
So this is match week 1. So it's like the first week of the schedule. Okay. So when it says match week, that tells you that it's a league game. And that does become important. That's one of the things that was confusing to me coming in mid-season last year, trying to really become a fan, is the confusion I had between league games versus cup games and Champions League. And so if somebody says Arsenal and Liverpool are playing in match week 5, that means that is a Premier League game, correct? The other thing I wanted you to talk about are the way that standings are in the fixtures, which is the term that they use for schedule, right? And so we want to talk about how you move up in the fixture. Is that the right table?
Move up in the table.
How they move up in the table. So the fixture is the schedule. The table is the ranking of where you are within the league. And so it's not just a win or loss thing, that like it is in a lot of American sports where we might say you've got 30 wins and 5 losses or something like that. How do they determine where you are in the standings?
So obviously they go off points, where 3 points is a win, 1 point is a draw, and 0 points is a loss.
Okay.
And then they can also determine that off of goal difference, where it basically is kind of like an adding and subtracting of how many goals you scored versus how many goals you've conceded.
Okay, so if there was a tie, so if my team wins a game in match week 1, they're going to get awarded 3 points.
Yeah.
If we tied, my team is going to get 1 point.
Yeah.
And if my team lost, we get 0 points. And later in the season or at the end of the season, if 2 teams are tied on points, then you're saying it goes to goal differential as a tiebreaker. Okay. Yeah. So that is why one thing that in trying to help new fans to the sport understand that all games matter, because it is how many points you are earning. And then if you are competing for a slot, competing for first place in your table, it could make a difference on if the team that you're competing against wins their game or ties their game. Yeah. So, okay, so that is something to pay attention to, or that points, or how many points your team is getting if they're winning, tying, or losing. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and you kind of hit on it a little bit, is as we move through the season, we will talk about the difference between league play versus cups and things like Champions League. So we'll talk about that difference, and we'll get into that a little bit more, and also on in some of these tournaments how there are two legs to the tournament. So those are things to come, but that's why we really want, if you're trying to understand the sport and just getting started, these are things that we will cover to kind of help you understand what's happening. Okay, so I think now we are ready to jump into each of our participants and see who they've picked and how their team fared in match week 1. Okay, so the first 2 participants we are going to talk about are Josh and Rita. They have both chosen the same team, and the team that they have chosen is Arsenal. So how did Arsenal do this week?
They didn't have their best game against Man United, and a lot of people would say they got outplayed by them, but they did get the win.
Okay.
It was 1-0. It was like a 1-yard tap-in from Riccardo Calafiori off of a goalkeeping error.
Okay.
A corner went in, and basically Saliba kind of just pressured the keeper, like he kind of nudged into him, and he just he couldn't do anything about it, and he didn't even get his hand on the ball, and it was just right there for Calafiori to head it in.
Okay. So
it was a fairly easy goal, huge goalkeeping error, because you should be stronger than the defender, but so
it happens.
And
so,
then they just held on to that lead. They didn't have to do anything else.
Okay. How do you feel Arsenal's outlook is for this season?
Well, in offense, they're not like the best in terms of like compared to like Liverpool or maybe even Man City. But in terms of like defense, they're probably one of the more well-structured teams. With Man City and Liverpool, you kind of saw it was pretty easy to make, line-splitting passes and just get through their defense very easily. Man City beat Wolves 4-0, but they had like 2 offside goals by like just little margins.
Okay.
And they were really struggling defensively.
So
that Haaland goal opened it up.
We didn't end up having anyone in the matchup pair with Man City, but I did, in what I read after match week 1, that Man City looked really strong.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people feel like they are going to have a really good season.
Yeah. But in terms of defense, they looked very shaky. Okay. So in that, maybe Arsenal could get over them because when they're not on their day, they can hold on to leads, unlike Man City or Liverpool. But in terms of like their attacking output, they're not that good. Gyökeres, their new signing, came from the Portuguese league, and he's going to take some time adapting into the Premier League.
Okay.
It's a much different league, and they kind of rely on Saka. And if Saka's not in his game, then Arsenal's not on their game.
Okay.
So,
but a good start for them and a good start for Rita and Josh with their first team. Okay. Next, Aston Villa for Abby O. How did Aston Villa do this week?
They finished 0-0, 0-0.
So they got 1 point. Okay.
Not too much of an exciting game. I believe Aston Villa was just holding on. I saw Newcastle got some chances off. Elanga got one. I think he missed his 1v1 versus the keeper.
Abby B just recently chose Borussia Dortmund. So tell us, how did their game go?
It went fine, 1-0. I don't remember who the scorer was.
Okay, I have his name. Guirassy.
Oh, Guirassy.
Yeah.
He's a good striker, actually. He finished as a UCL top scorer, paired with Rafinha. Who got that 13 UCL goals.
Okay.
So he's a good striker. I believe that is a new promoted side in the Bundesliga.
And that was Rot-Weiss? Is that the right way to say it? Okay. So that's who they beat, and that team had just promoted. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so they had come up from a lower league. Okay, Brad has chosen Bayern Munich, and I thought that they had a regular season game this week, but I was wrong. They were playing in like a preseason tournament, or is it a cup?
Tournament.
Okay,
it's a cup. It's an actual trophy.
Okay. And what is it called?
I believe it's just the German Super Cup. It's where the winner of the DFB Pokal and the winner of the league go against each other in a final.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Community Shield.
Oh, okay.
Because Liverpool went against Crystal Palace.
Yes.
League winners versus FA Cup winners.
Okay. So who did Bayern Munich play against?
Stuttgart.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So
And I don't know if
and
it
they
was
won.
2-0 or 3-0.
Okay.
Their new signing, Luis Diaz, scored from a header.
Okay.
And it's another trophy for Harry Kane, who hasn't had the best of luck with trophies.
And now he's
got
that's his
two.
second one. Yes.
So.
Okay. And I think Brad is super excited. So I get texts from him when Bayern scores. And so he's been really excited. That makes it fun. And I hope we get everybody to that level where they're really paying attention and enjoying it. Okay. Carol is our participant who has still not decided. She's still undecided. She's still dating teams. She really wants to see some games before she makes a decision, and I think that's totally fine. We're really hoping that people find a good match, and so she just doesn't feel there yet. So her teams are Liverpool, Borussia Dortmund, and AC Milan, I believe. So she's still checking it out. And so we will continue to share information with her. And then as soon as she does make a choice, we will let everybody know. And then we'll be updating her. And then, our last participant is Jamie. And Jamie has chosen Real Madrid. And so you and I could sit here and talk about Real Madrid, but the other person who is a part of this podcast who has chosen Real Madrid is Grandma. And so we are going to have a new segment every episode where Grandma gives us her insight onto the most recent Real Madrid game or games called the Real Recap. So I'm going to step out and let you and Grandma talk about Real Madrid.
So this is the Real
Recap.
Real Recap, where we have Grandma instead of Mom, because she's a Real Madrid fan. So how'd the game go?
Well, Real Madrid won 1-0 and controlled the game for 70% of the time. The score doesn't really indicate how lopsided that part of the game was.
Did Osasuna just sit back?
Yeah.
Just kind of let them have the ball.
Yeah. And so, they played, it's Club Atlético Osasuna.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are a Basque team.
Okay.
And that is actually a Basque word, I believe, Osasuna. So.
Okay. So, they did have 4 saves, which was good. Shows that they were playing some defense.
Yeah.
And they are located in Pamplona, which is where they have the running of the bulls.
Nice.
And you may not know what that is.
I do not know what it is. No.
Okay. So there was no score in the first half.
Yeah, no.
0-0. And then 6 minutes into the second half, Mbappe scored on a penalty kick.
Yep.
And then in the 90th minute,
A player got a red card.
Mbappe got a yellow card.
Oh, Mbappe got a yellow card. Because I remember seeing one of the Osasuna players got a red card in the 94th minute, I believe.
Yeah.
So, did you see that red card? Was it rough?
I did not see it. I tried to pull it up and watch it on my phone, but I didn't get it.
Okay.
So anyway, 3 points for us.
Yeah. And plus 1 goal difference. So
Yep.
that's good.
Yep.
You kept a clean sheet. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that 70% of the time they were in control of the ball, controlling the game.
Had to break down their low block. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Grandma, for the Real recap. And that gives Jamie some insight on how her team, Real Madrid, did as well. And we look forward to Grandma keeping us updated all season on Real Madrid. But we want to also know how Barcelona did, because that is Chase's team. So Barcelona, Chase, how was Barcelona in week 1?
They basically, they kind of cruised by Mallorca. We got a goal in the 7th minute. And then our second goal in like the 27th, 28th minute was a bit of a controversial one. So Lamine dribbled through some players and he took a shot, and one of the Mallorca defenders cleared it out with his head, and like as soon as he cleared it out, he tried to like fall to the ground, and the ball was still like in the air, and the Mallorca players tried to recover, and then Ferran got the ball, he stole it off of them, he got some space, and from like 18 yards out, he had a great finish in the top corner of the goal. It was a bit of a controversial goal because the ref had like his whistle in his mouth, like he was gonna blow.
Oh.
It was like he was hesitant, and so then the Mallorca players saw that and they kind of stopped playing.
Oh.
Leo Roman, though, their goalkeeper, wasn't like
He
stopped
kept
playing.
on.
He was ready to save something. So, I mean, it's a bit of a controversial goal, but it's like the saying, like play to the whistle.
Yes.
You know. So I know a lot of like Madrid fans are like mad about that, but
Madrid fans or Mallorca fans?
well, both. Really.
Okay.
But it's just how the game went. We were already cruising by them before that, and then right after that, they got 2 red cards.
Oh. Okay.
In the first half, they got 2 red cards. One was a player's second yellow card after tackling Lamine, and then he had tried to argue with the ref that it was not a foul. And when you look at the replay,
Sorry, we have a whiny dog on set. Okay, go ahead, Chase.
and when you look at the replay, obviously he clearly clips his legs, and so that was his second yellow. And then on the second red card, it was their striker, I forgot his name, but there was a long ball that basically went to him. He was onside, and our keeper, our new signing, Juan Garcia, went to clear it out with his head, and the striker's foot, like studs up, just hit him in the
Oh.
face.
Ow.
And at first it was a yellow card, but then they went to VAR to review it, and it was an immediate red card. And then
Oh.
after that, the stadium erupted. Any foul we committed, they were yelling for yellow cards, red cards, anything.
So it was obviously played in Mallorca.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the second half, we kind of put it in cruise control, which our coach, Hansi Flick, was not a big fan of. He wanted us to, be more, I guess, unforgiving. He wanted us to score more goals. In the second half, we only got 1 goal, and it was in the 94th minute by Lamine Yamal.
Okay.
Did I say who the first goal scorer was?
No.
It was Rafinha.
Okay.
So, Lamine Yamal, he gets free and he puts a curler into the top net, and that was the last kick of the game. And so it ended 3-0. That's a good goal to have because of goal difference.
Sure. Yes.
So it puts us in a good spot. And apparently Hansi Flick is mad at the complacency we had. So.
And it's probably first week of the season. Maybe guys aren't quite dialed in. And
Yeah.
I like that from their coach that, it is, you have to take advantage when a team gives you an opening to put your foot on them, to get goal differential, all those things, So I understand where Flick is coming from.
Yeah.
So, okay, my team, Liverpool, also played this week.
Had a dramatic game.
A dramatic game, and Ekitike got his first
Premier
League goal. That was exciting and fun to watch. Salah scored. So it was a good first week game, and I'm excited to see what the season takes. I think that Liverpool's going to be super strong again. I think, again, I'm so new to all of this, but in everything that I read in the off season and trying to learn and keep up with things, it seems that they had a very good transfer window.
Very good transfer.
So they were very aggressive coming off of winning the Premier League, of going out and trying to pick up even more talent and moving some people to other teams and getting people that they thought would make them better. And so I'm really excited to see how the rest of the season goes.
He did show some defensive errors, though, because you did go 2-0 up, but then you lost that lead, and it was 2-2.
Yes.
And then in the 88th minute, you scored from Chiesa, who was your signing in the 24-25 season. Didn't get much playing time, but clearly when he does, he's good.
Yes.
And then Mo Salah sealed it off to make it 4-0 or 4-2.
4-2.
So.
Yep. So exciting for both of our teams. Good starts for both of us.
Yeah. Your team's kind of like how my team played last season, where your offensive output will just heavily, outplay your defensive.
Yes.
Defensive.
You're not the
mistakes.
best defensive team, but you're a really good offensive team.
Yeah. You
So
can concede 4 but score 5.
yes. Yes. So very good. So I was excited about that as well. So that kind of wraps up the first week of European season, our first week of the matchup where we have people matched with teams and having games that they can watch and follow along. So every week we will update you. We will follow our participants along. We look forward to when we've got some participants playing against each other or playing against one of us, and we can have a little bit of fun with that. And we will continue to learn bits and pieces about the beautiful game as we go along. For those of you who are wanting to follow our participants and learn how to be a fan of this game. So for those of you who already know all the things about football and soccer, we still hope that you follow us along so that you can help us encourage the people who are learning the game in the comments and interacting with us. We think you're very valuable to help us along in this journey, but we do know that a lot of our content will be kind of elementary, of helping getting people. Chase's content is never elementary, but I ask him a lot of basic questions to help me figure out what I'm watching and what I need to pay attention to, and also our participants. So also one last thing that I meant to say after our Real recap with Grandma is I apologize that she's wearing a Dortmund jersey. She is getting a Real Madrid jersey. It was supposed to be here today and it won't be here till tomorrow. So anyway, for next week, she should be decked out in Real Madrid. Yeah. So anyway, that's all we have this time. Please like, subscribe, follow, and we look forward to seeing you next week, Match Week 2.